I have held the same philosophy and now hold for as far back as I can remember.
Alice O'Connor, better known as Ayn Rand, was a revolutionary Russian-American philosopher in the 20th century who promoted a view of objectivism. After being born and educated in Russia, she moved to the United States in 1926. This was due to a disdain for social altruism and communism, which both were prevalent in the Russia she grew up in. Rand, in the following years during World War II, released the renowned novel The Fountainhead. However, due to paper rationing, the book became a bestseller only 2 years later. The Fountainhead follows Howard Roark, an architect who refuses to compromise his work for anyone, and it is through him Rand argues that living for your own judgment and creative vision is the highest moral good, while seeking approval from others is a kind of self-betrayal. And this lays the groundwork for the very basis of objectivism. Famously, Ayn Rand described objectivism in the 1964 Playboy magazine as the concept of man as a heroic being with his own happiness as the moral purpose of his life, with productive achievement as his noblest activity, and reason as his only absolute. This was Rand's answer to the need for a philosophy. It was her self-described philosophy for living on Earth. This is all to say that Rand objected faith and religion and argued that one ought to prioritize themselves above all else, a clear product of her disdain for social altruism, originating from her upbringing in Russia during the Russian Revolution. However, when asked, her philosophy originates with little to no external influence, disagreeing or contributing to any ideas put forward by another philosopher, excluding Aristotle.
And whence did this philosophy of yours come?
Out of my own mind, with the sole acknowledgement of a debt to Aristotle, who is the only philosopher that ever influenced me. I devised the rest of my philosophy myself.
Aristotle's influence on Rand is most visible in her commitment to reason as the foundation of all knowledge, a principle Aristotle called logos. His rejection of Plato's abstract world of forms in favor of a concrete, observable world directly shaped Rand's insistence that reality is objective and knowable through the senses. Essentially, Aristotle provided Rand the philosophical backbone to argue that the world is real, and that reason is the only thing you shall provide your trust toward. Today, many people consider her views as controversial. However, for her time, she was revolutionary.
I mean, nobody wants Fountainhead, but that's what I wanted to do. You know, no one wants to make it because they think it's like, you know, it's taboo. Ayn Rand is taboo.
Rand influenced countless political and philosophical ideologies, both during and after her time. Examples of this include communitarianism, pioneered by Amitai Etzioni, which directly opposed the values of and was a response to Rand's objectivism. It achieved this by creating a philosophy that argued individual identity and morality was deeply embedded and ingrained in community. Additionally, the creation of libertarianism, which philosophically paralleled objectivism, upheld the ingrained values of individualism present in Rand's philosophy. However, Rand objected to the execution of libertarianism as a transition to objectivism into a political ideology, parading individual liberty, self-ownership, and free markets. Today, however, objectivism in Ayn Rand's novel The Fountainhead is highly rejected, as many people embrace faith and community, associating her political philosophy to selfish people. But her legacy stands strong, as she has affected or changed many people's views of capitalism, socialism, and communism, three of the most common political systems in the world, promoting skepticism among the common person who is willing to accept her views.